No one is there to lead them, and no one is there to really mentor and guide them. But let me tell you this, my brothers and sisters. Here in AIM Global, we know without your uplines, we know without your mentors or your guide, you will succeed. It depends on how really hard you really want, how bad you really want to succeed in AIM Global Zambia. Do you agree with me? If you guys agree with me, everybody say yes. Yes. Now, before I start, I want to know if you guys are ready. Are you ready? Ready. Really? Are you ready? Ready. Ask the person beside you, are you ready? I'm ready. Tell the person beside you, promise me you will never sleep. Promise me you will never sleep. Really, huh? Because since the day I started training here, every time I do trainings, I can't remember a day when there's someone not sleeping during my training. It's not just in Zambia, even in the Philippines, even in other countries. But I hope today, for the first time, I will never see someone sleeping. But you know, if I ask you to raise both your hands, that means I saw someone sleeping. Alright? Okay. My topic again is lead when no one can. Everybody say, lead when no one can. Lead when no one can. Do you believe that all of you can be leaders? Yes. Especially the first timers here, especially the new here, the new leaders here, the new distributors. There will be, something at the back of your mind, at the back of your head, asking yourselves, can I really succeed in this business? I mean, I can never be as good as my upline. I can never be as good as them. I don't have the skill to speak like them. I don't have the skill to manage a group, especially a big group. Now that I know, for me to succeed in this business, I will be handling thousands of people under me. I don't think I have the capacity or the skill to do that. Well, let me tell you this. Even if you don't have the skill now, all of you have the potential. All of you have the opportunity to be as good as anybody. It's just a matter of how bad you want to be good at your craft. You understand what I'm saying? If you want to be like Elias Mahuzi, who among you here wants to be like an Elias Mahuzi? Do you know Elias Mahuzi? Yes. Most of you here he's your grand upline. He started as an engineer with no money at all, and then he's tried, he really believed in himself that he can be great in what he's doing. So all he did was to really learn to become good leader, to learn to know how to manage and handle a very big group. Now, he's on top of his life right now. He has 4 cars. When we held the first gathering there in Uganda, days before that event, he just purchased a brand new sports car, a yellow Mercedes-Benz. Can you imagine when he first started doing this business 8 years ago? He didn't have any car. Now he has 4 cars. A Mercedes-Benz, another sports car Mercedes-Benz, a Toyota Prado, and a BMW SUV. Wow. Can you imagine that? He's not just a Ruby Global Ambassador. He's not just earning millions of kwacha every month. He now has lots of investments. He has villas. He has lots of apartments. He has lots of businesses. Now, he's building his own hotel. Can you imagine a hotel? Who used to have nothing 8 years ago. But do you know why he has this kind of achievement right now? Do you know why? Ask me why. Why? Because he knew that even if he didn't have any skills before, he knew he can be great at what he is doing because he believed in himself. All he needed to do was to find the right system into becoming a good leader. He knew right then, he knew before that even without a mentor, even without an upline, even without a guide, he can succeed on his own. And I'm telling you right now, my brothers and sisters, some of you here, you might have uplines who's not really giving you the all-out support. You may have, some of you here might not really have an upline because your upline left you. Who among you here have uplines who left them? Who among you here have no uplines? Really, Cleto, huh? Now, this I can tell you. You might, at the back of your mind, you might be telling yourselves, oh, this is going to be very, very hard for me. I don't have an outline. I'm so envious of those group of those distributors who have downlines mentoring them. Please, don't think that way. Because with or without your uplines, with or without your guide or mentors, even with or without us, you can succeed in Alliance in Motion Global. Do you believe that? If you believe that, everybody say, I believe.
I believe.
The other person beside you, you will succeed.
You will succeed.
But again, it still depends on you. If, it depends on how bad you really want to succeed here in AIM Global. Do you understand? It says here, my brothers and sisters, your success will never depend on your outline. Do you believe that? Your success will never depend on your outlines. But it will depend on how good of an outline you are. There's a big difference. Do you understand what I'm saying? With or without your outlines, you can succeed in AIM Global Zambia. But I'm telling you this, you will never succeed in AIM Global 100% if you are not a good outline. Do you understand the difference? All I'm saying is, you can succeed here without an outline. Because your success will never depend on your outline. You will dictate your success in AIM Global Zambia. Do you understand that?
Yes.
And for you to succeed here, with or without your outlines, you must be a very, very good and effective outline. And for you to become an effective outline, for you to become an effective leader, again, taken from the word itself, leader, you must know how to lead. That's why my topic is lead when no one can. Because you might, there will be instances where, this happens a lot. And it might happen to you. You might be depending on your outline and your outline, but for you, you think that there's something missing with your outline that you can be better than your outline. All I'm saying is, you don't try to get arrogant downline telling your outline that, hey, I can be better than you. No, that's not what I'm saying. All I'm saying is, there are times wherein you rely too much on your outline, wherein you depend too much on your outline, that you cannot even reach your full potential because you rely too much on your outline. But then, my brothers and sisters, all I'm saying is, that's why my topic is lead when no one can, because there will be times wherein you have outlines who don't know how to lead. Do you experience that? Have you experienced that? Wherein you feel like, I think I'm not going to grow in my network because I don't feel like my outline is an effective outline. There will be times that you will be experiencing those things. But I'm telling you, if no one can lead your group, then you can lead your group. It's just a matter of how really bad you want it. Alright? That's what it says here. Your success will never depend on your outlines. It will never depend on your outlines. Again, your outlines will only serve as your mentors, your guide. Alright? Your what do you call this? Your mentors, your guide, your something who will guide you, someone who will guide you. But even without guides, even without mentors, you can succeed. Again, depending on how good of an outline you are. Do you think you're a good outline? Do you think you are a good outline?
Yes.
Really? Do you really believe that you are a good outline? Or if not today, do you believe in yourself that you can be a good outline?
Yes.
All right, that's good. Now let's go. Let's proceed. What happens when you don't lead? Now this is where the problem is in AIM Global. Sometimes all you do is just recruit, prospect, sell products. For you, maybe some of you here, Oh, attending training is not really important. For me, the regular federal bonuses are a lot more important because it generates income. I need income right now. I need it badly. There's no time for me to attend trainings because I would rather go out and find someone who will believe in my presentation, in this opportunity. Attending trainings, can you imagine from 9 hours maybe up to like 12 hours or 13 hours? That's a complete waste of time. It's 4 hours waste of time. I would rather spend my 4 hours going outside and prospecting someone, hoping that there will be a direct referral bonus in my account. Some people, especially the new ones, think that way. Now, this is what happens, my brothers and sisters. The moment you start having downlines under you, and you don't even know how to lead them, you don't even know how to manage them, what happens? Number one, definitely, there will be no plans for your group. If you don't know how to lead a group, then definitely there are no plans. And you know how important plans are in a group, in your success. Is that correct? I haven't seen anyone who succeeded in any aspects of life with no plans. Even Colonel Sanders, the owner, the CEO, the founder of Kentucky Fried Chicken, KFC, before he even started selling his chicken, before someone believed in him after, promoting his recipe in more than 1,000 clients, he already had a plan. He already had a plan. Right after he retired as a colonel, he had a plan that, hey, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to make a chicken recipe. I'm going to make a recipe that I believe will make big in the market. So all I have to do is just believe. This is what I'm going to do. I have a plan. I will go from one state to another in America to find someone who will believe in my recipe. It took him more than 1,000 people for someone to believe in him. And that is why we have Kentucky Fried Chicken right now. It took him 1,000 people traveling from one state to another. No one was believing in his recipe, but then someone believed in him after more than 1,000 attempts. And that someone made him so successful right now. Do you know KFC, right?
Yes.
That's why we now have a Kentucky Fried Chicken. But we will never be having any KFC right now if Colonel Sanders did not have a plan. Do you know why? Because he is the leader. A coach in any football club, before they even win a championship, from the very start of the tournament, they already had a plan. If you don't have a plan, if you are going to a war without a plan, what do you think will happen? You will lose the war, of course. Why? Because you do not have a plan. It's the same thing with AIM Global. If you go on a war, this is a war. Do you know that? You're battling for life. You want to win so that you will give your family a good life. You are battling for your life. Now what happens if you don't have a plan? What do you think will happen to you in AIM Global? You will lose. You will fail. No one will believe in you. Every time you prospect, you will be rejected. Every time you sell your products, no one will buy your products. Why? You don't have plans. Do you know why you don't have plans? Because you don't know how to lead. You don't have plans for your group. You've been here for like how many months? You've been here for 1 year, 2 years. Nothing is happening to your group. Do you know why? Because you do not know how to lead. Because you don't know how to plan for your group. No one is believing in you. You might register someone under you for quite some time. After a few months, after a few weeks, they will all quit. Do you know why? They cannot see their plans coming from you. Now, can you imagine this? Try to prospect someone. Try to present the opportunity because you know how to lead. You present the opportunity, you present the marketing plan, then after presenting the marketing plan, you saw the interest of your prospect. And before you even close the deal, you already are showing them your plan. Okay, if you're interested in doing this business, this is my plan for you. This is what we are going to do. Our plan is for you to become a silver executive the soonest possible time. Now, if that person has no money to join, this is my plan for you to make sure, for us to make sure that you will register. This is my plan. This is what we're going to do. Now, if your prospect already has like money to purchase the package, then your next plan for him, or for that person, is to become a silver executive. You're not going to do this alone, my brother. You're not going to do this alone, my sister. I have plans for you. This is what we're going to do. One step at a time, you will reach this goal. Can you imagine if from the very beginning, your downline or your prospect can realize that that person hasn't even joined yet, but you already have plans for them? Do you think there's a big possibility, a bigger chance that your prospect will join you and trust you? Do you think? Of course. Why? Because you have plans. But if a person knows that their upline has no plans for them, it's easy for them to quit this business. And that is why you are not growing a network, because you do not know how to lead the group. That's why I've been telling you from time to time that this business is all about leadership. It's not all about recruiting or prospecting or selling. I always tell that line, because you have to register in your minds that this business is all about leadership. Everyone say leadership. It's all about leadership. That's your priority, to learn how to lead. Because how can you be able to grow a network without knowing how to lead your downlines, without even having plans for them, without even knowing how to set goals for your group? Can you imagine 3 people will join you, and they can feel like you have plans for them. They can feel that you know how to lead, because all you ever care about is just to prospect and to recruit. You don't care about them. That's why leading is so important. You need to understand this. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Oh, yes.
Or am I talking too fast?
We understand it.
You understand every word that I'm saying, huh?
Yes.
That's good. Because in other countries, they say, they can't even understand what I'm saying because I'm talking too fast. It's good that I'm in a country who really knows how to speak English. Because it's very hard to really do presentations when there's an interpreter or a translator. It destroys your momentum. Can you imagine? I've been speaking too fast, and then I'll stop, I'll let them speak. After that, I lose the momentum. It's good that I'm in Zambia. Alright? That's an advantage for you. Next, if you don't know how to lead, there is low morale. Low morale. That's why a lot of your downlines, you can see them, you can feel it because you're an upline. You can feel that there's low morale. There's no motivation. In other words, I have been traveling from one country to another in East Africa for the past 5 months. I've been to Zambia, to Tanzania, Uganda, to Rwanda, I've been to DRC, I've also been to Nigeria. And every time I visit a country, as a leader, I know if leaders have high morale or low morale. Unfortunately, in other countries, I can see it in their eyes that there's really low morale. And they talk to me. And I'm asking them, what's the problem? Please tell me so I can help. And they always keep on telling me that they have problems with their uplines. They just don't feel like they can succeed with their uplines. You know? Especially if their uplines feel like, I am your upline, I will be the only one to lead. What you're going to do is just to listen to me. You have no right to lead because I am your upline. That's what happens sometimes. And if you do not know how to lead, you will know, you will feel that your group, your downlines will have this low morale, low motivation. And it's only going to take a matter of time for them to really quit afterwards. So us as trainers, what we do is to really see people who has this. And we will talk to them and try to revive the energy, the enthusiasm for them to really keep on going. For them to really someday succeed in AIM Global. But all I'm telling you, my brothers and sisters, is if you do not know how to lead, you will experience this as well. You are so enthusiastic, you're so energetic, so motivated to do this business, but you just don't realize, you just don't understand why most of your downlines are not as excited as you. Why your downlines are not as energetic as you. Why? Very simple. You don't know how to lead. It's just that simple. Just because that you have high energy, just because that you are so motivated doesn't mean that your downlines will be motivated as well. But you can see a lot of groups that has high morale. Their their uplines are so energetic, and at the same time, their downlines, the group, has the same kind of energy. That is because their uplines really know how to lead. That's why as early as now, learn how to lead. Because it's so useless for you to have lots of direct referral bonuses. It's very useless for you to be having lots of downlines and you don't even know how to sustain them. You understand? Who among you here had registrations and after a day you can't see them anymore? Who among you here? You had like sign-ups, someone joined under you, after a few weeks you can't see them anymore. Maybe there's something wrong. I'm not saying that there's something wrong with you, but most of the time, really there's something wrong with you. But there are times where they just really don't want this business. They had no choice because they were so shy not to say no to you, and that's the reason they joined. They're not really motivated. But when you see your prospects so motivated at first that after a few weeks you don't see them, it's not their problem. Maybe there's something wrong with the person who asked them to join them. Most of the time. But again, most of the time, there's something wrong with you. Right? You understand? Again, it has something to do with you not knowing how to lead a group. Doesn't matter if you only have 1 downline, 2 downlines, or 3 downlines, or 100 downlines, it doesn't matter. Because the moment you start having downlines, you must already know how to lead. This is the purpose of us having leaders training, because we want to emphasize, we want to really make you understand how leadership plays a major role in AIM Global. Do you understand? Yes. Are you learning? Yes. Unfortunately, I wouldn't be able to break the record because I have to ask you now to please raise both your hands. Please raise your hands. Come on. Tap the shoulder of the person to your right and left. Tap their shoulders. Shake it so hard. Shake, shake, shake. Shake it, shake it, shake it. Shake it, shake it, shake it.
You are not shaking the money.
And tell the person who's sleeping, you have a low morale. All right. All right, next. Okay. All right. Low production. If you don't know how to lead, it's automatic. There's low production. If you can't see in your DTC that your positional points is not increasing, that's low production. That means no one wants to help you become a silver executive because they don't believe in you. You don't know how to lead. This is what happens when you don't know how to lead. Automatically, there will be low production. Can you see someone, or have you seen someone who just joined now, after 3 months or after 2 months already became a silver executive? Yes. Have you seen someone? Yes. Have you seen someone now who just joined now after a year, is still a distributor? Yes. After 2 years, still a silver executive. You know a lot of people, right? I've been here in this industry for 20 years, and I've seen a lot. Again, because there's low production. Very simple. Why is there low production? That person doesn't know how to lead. And since that person doesn't know how to lead, he doesn't know how to plan. He doesn't have any goals for his group on how to produce this and that. That's why their group is starting to, to have a very, very low motivation, not even wanting to do this business, hence producing very, very low production. Because again, bottom line, your outline doesn't know how to lead. Or worse, you don't know how to lead. If you're guilty, when I say that you've been here for years, you haven't even reached silver executive yet, there's a very, very big problem with you. Please don't take this personally. I am not here to sugarcoat. My goal is to train you. My purpose is to train you. I don't care whether you get hurt or not. I'm just telling the truth. I hope you appreciate what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Alright? Low production. Because you don't know how to lead. Now that you realize that the reason why you're having low production is because you don't know how to lead, then it's very, very simple. The next step is for you to know and to learn how to lead. So if what you've been doing for the past years have been, it's not been producing any results, then I think it's time for you to change your system. I think it's time for you to change what you're doing. There's a saying that if you always do what you've always done, you will always get what you've always gotten, right?
Yes.
Now, change is necessary, if that's the case. Maybe the only reason why you're not producing any results is because you don't know how to lead. Now, change what you're doing. Instead, prioritize learning. Prioritize attending trainings. Then maybe eventually, something will change. There will be higher production. Your downlines will be more motivated. Try to change where you try to get plans for your group, set goals for your group. You start learning how to lead. Then I can tell you 100% that you will eventually grow. Your points will really increase. And you will not realize that after 1 month or 2 months, you're about to reach silver executive. About to reach gold executive or global ambassador. Medical doctor with 6 clinics. The next day, he closed all of them. If you're a doctor with 6 clinics, and your mentor told you to close all of them the following day, do you think you'll do it? No, I don't think so. But his vision was clear. He really saw it crystal clear as a crystal. That's why he knew right then that this is what I wanted to do. He closed his clinic and he became a very successful networker. But then his vision was not just to become a successful networker. He wanted to build a business of his own. A networking business of his own. And he had a clear vision. He already had plans. The first person he talked to was the late Sir Francis Miguel. He was in another networking company before. And he saw the vision of Doc Ed Comanto because they're both networkers. They're both great networkers. And he saw the vision. And Sir Francis said, "Oh, that's a good vision. I know our company will be very, very successful. But I'm not going to join your business if I don't bring along with me my friend, Mr. John Aspirin." And that is the start of the dynasty of Alliance in Motion Global. That's how they saw AIM Global. From the very beginning, they had a goal. Their vision was not just to make it big in the Philippines. They want to make it big all over the world, and it is happening now. Even during the pandemic crisis, AIM Global is growing and growing. Where can you see a company, all right, during crisis, opening up new offices, giving daily payouts when a lot of companies are closing down? There might be challenges that were happening during the pandemic crisis, but I can tell you this, we are still giving daily payouts. And that's what's more important than anything else. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right? That can only happen in AIM Global. Again, our company became so successful because of the vision. You will become so successful in AIM Global if you have a vision. Unfortunately, this can never happen. Really, I'm serious. If you don't know how to lead, if you don't have plans for your group, you must have. Why is everything? Why is it very silent? It's like you are all you are all in awe. You haven't really. You do not know the history of why we came up with AIM, why Doc Ed came up with AIM Global. That's how it started. It all started with vision. And if you want to grow a very, very big network, you have to have a vision. Everybody say vision. Vision. It's not because you can see. No. Don't take it literally. When you say vision, it is something that you can only see when others cannot. That's what you call vision. Alright? That is the power of vision. And you must all have that in your group. Not just a vision for yourself, a vision for your group. Because you need to know how to lead. Alright? Next. This will only be a few slides. Alright? This will only be a few slides. But, this is so good. And I can't click next. Alright. Are you learning? Yes. Ask the person beside you, are you learning?
Are you learning? Oh, yes.
Now, if you can see the picture here, have you experienced this before? Have you encountered this? When you first saw the opportunity going global, all you have is just pure excitement, all motivation. Then after, some time you've been doing it global and you started feeling this. Who among you here have experienced that? You feel like quitting, huh? You feel like, oh, I don't think this is the right business for me. I thought this business is going to be easy. I already claimed to my family that I'll be driving a car in 6 months. It's been 5 months, I don't even have a single registration. How can I be driving my own car? And you started feeling this way. Why some distributors become really good leaders, but others, they just can't? Can you feel me? Can you relate to this? You will ask yourself, why is he so good? Why can't be as good as him? I've been attending trainings. I've been really learning a lot. But why can't I as good as that person? Now, here's the reason why. Number one, it's all about wrong understanding about leadership. You've been attending trainings for so long, you don't realize, you don't even understand the true meaning of leadership. All you know is, the way you lead is not really leading at all. Maybe some of you have been managers here. Maybe some of you have been supervisors here before you even knew AIM Global. And the way you treat people here, the way you treat your downlines here, it's like they are your people. You're the boss. You treat them like you're the manager or you're the supervisor. And that's not the way you lead a group. Just because you have to understand this, if you've been to a corporate company or you've been an employee before, you have to understand what I'm saying right now. Just because you're a boss, that doesn't guarantee you that you are a leader. Alright? Just because you attained a position in a certain company, that doesn't mean that you really are a leader. Just because someone is following your command, that doesn't mean that you really are a leader. Do you know why? Ask me why. Why? Because you're the boss. Your employees don't have any choice but to follow their boss. No matter how stupid their boss is, no matter how idiot their boss is, they don't have a choice but to follow their boss. Otherwise, they will lose their jobs. Now, if there's only an option for them to follow that boss or not, I guarantee you they will not follow their boss. Because most of the time, bosses are, that's why it's called boss, they're bossy. Sometimes employees don't have any choice but just to follow. But again, just because you're a boss doesn't mean that you're a leader. A true leader, they respect the boss. Because there are bosses that are true leaders. When the boss says, we will have an overtime. All the people under them, they will respect that. Oh, it's okay, boss. We respect you. The reason we're having overtime is because we know that we need that. Because they respect the boss. Why? Because he is a good leader. A good leader. But if there is someone, I don't know if you have, who among you here have been employed before? So most likely you had a boss, right?
Son.
Was there a time when your boss asked you to do something and you said yes and you turned your back? Oh, I hope you get fired. Have you tried that? Sometimes you don't even feel like going to your job. Why? Because you'll see the face of your boss again. That's not a good leader. But if you're motivated to go to work at all times, every time, that means you have a good leader. Here in AIM Global, you can never act like a boss. Do you know why? Again, ask me why.
Why?
You don't feel like asking me why. Ask me why.
Why?
Because, you are your own boss. You don't, you have the option whether you want to follow your upline or not. Why? Because you're your own boss. Your upline is not your boss. Now, if you see a group who says a lot of bad things about their uplines, then that's not being a good leader. But if you saw a group where they always follow what their uplines tell them, then their upline is a very, very good leader. They know how to lead. Wrong understanding about leadership. Just because you have downlines under you, that really won't make you a leader. Do you understand? That won't make you a leader. You have to earn it by learning over and over and over. You just don't become a leader. Everybody's born leader. But sometimes you need to polish it so people will trust and respect you. So your goal as an upline is for your people to trust you. That's the number one rule here. For your downlines to trust you so they will follow you and they will respect you. Because if you have a group full of respect and love and trust, that is the reason why most uplines become silver executives in 1 month, become gold executives in 3 months, become global ambassadors in 4 months or 5 months or 6 months. Because people trust them, because they know how to lead. But if you don't know how to lead, then you're just pretending to be leaders. We have lots of that here in AIM Global. Oh, I'm a leader! Leader is a lot different from someone pretending to be a leader. You have to know for yourself that you really are a true leader, not just someone pretending to be a leader. Alright? Wrong understanding about leadership. What else? Inexperience. Others cannot lead because of inexperience. Everybody say inexperience.
Inexperience.
That is one of the reasons why they don't know how to lead. Again, more than 80% or more than 90% of people joining AIM Global have this. Inexperience. Only few have joined AIM Global who already have experience becoming leaders, becoming managers, becoming, a former networker. But most people do not have the experience to lead a group. That's why most people also quit and fail in this business because they don't know how to lead. That's why if you think that if you lack the experience, we always emphasize this for you to learn fast in becoming a good leader first. You just, there are no shortcuts to success. And one of the most applied shortcuts in AIM Global is for them not to learn how to lead and just go on with recruiting and never, understanding how this business works. Their priority is 100% prospecting. When you do this business, you do 90% prospecting and selling. But there should always be 10% learning. Do you understand? It's not all the way 100% prospecting and you never learn. While you are prospecting, alright, you don't, I'm talking to the new people here. when you're prospecting, you don't present the opportunity to them if you're just a new distributor. You let your uplines do the presentation because you are still in the process of becoming good leader, of becoming a good networker. That's why we always tell you to learn the business as soon as possible so that you can stand on your own. Because the problem will be is if your upline left you and you are still in the process of learning. This is my advice. If you do not have an upline and you know that you are not the leader yet, make it 50-50. Learn first. Because the people you will prospecting, it might be a waste. It might be a missed opportunity. Because if you only have the skills and knowledge for them to prospect, they might turn out to be the right person, but then because you do not know how to prospect them, because you do not know you don't have the skills to present the business well, that right person might turn out to be a missed opportunity because they will never join you because you lack the skills, the leadership, and the knowledge to really present the opportunity. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Oh, yes.
You have been rejected a lot. And maybe some of them, those people who rejected you, might turn out to be the right person for AIM Global. But then, it turned out to be not the right person because the person who prospected them are not the right person. Because they still lack the skills. They still lack the knowledge. And only if you already have the skills and knowledge and at the right time, you were able to prospect that person, then that person might not have rejected you, and it might turn out to be the right person that will make you a silver executive, gold executive, or global ambassador. There will be lots of missed opportunities if you do not know how to lead. There will be lots of opportunities if you lack the experience. And again, more than 90% of the distributors signing up lack the experience. So what are you going to do if you lack the experience? Learn. Train. Become good at your craft. Become the best networker there will be. Do you understand? If you know that you still lack the skills in prospecting, then you must have the attitude of you can't sleep at night because you know that you're still not good. You might want to wake up and learn how to prospect. The skills, that should be the way to think. And most people cannot lead because of the inexperience. Next, the misconception about freedom. Oh, wow, this is good. When someone prospects you, the first time, I don't know if you have really encountered this before. Your upline or your sponsor offered you the opportunity, and he said, here in AIM Global, you will have time and financial freedom. Were you presented that way?
Yes.
You will have time and financial freedom. Yes, that's true. But understand this, you can never have time freedom if you do not have financial freedom. Unfortunately, again, and luckily, I have seen lots of distributors, especially in the Philippines, when I enter the office, they bring along with them their prospects and they always tell them, brother, here, we have time freedom and financial freedom. Just like me. Since I have time freedom, I did not work last week. I don't feel like doing AIM Global. No one told me to work last week. I am my own boss. I have time freedom. That's a stupid concept. Misconception. Understand this. I know you are your own boss. I know no one is telling you to do this and that. But you have to realize that for you to attain time freedom, you must first have financial freedom. In fact, when you will start this business, if there's one thing that you will sacrifice, one of it will be time. You will lose your time with your friends. You will lose your time with your family. You will focus your time mainly on doing AIM Global. And that's one thing you need to sacrifice at first. Time. For you to attain time freedom. I don't want to be hearing one of you telling, oh, we have time freedom here. Since I am my own boss, I'll work next week. I don't feel like attending trainings tomorrow. That's misconception. And that is the reason why most leaders cannot lead. Again, it's all about misconception. Alright, next, potential myth. Potential myth. Some people here think that they're leaders. Right? Some people here think that, oh, if I can only be given 10 downlines under me, then I can reach my full potential. Dina's laughing. Right? That's an excuse. The reason I can't reach my full potential is because no one is joining me. If only I can have 10 downlines under me, oh, I can be a good leader. Who among you here have heard a kid with an ambition to becoming a president of Zambia? A lot of you, right? Who among you here have heard a kid saying that I want to be a vice president of Zambia? No one, right? Who among you here, when they were a kid, said, I wanted to be the CEO of a company? A lot, right? But who among you here heard someone, a kid, saying that when I grow up, I want to be the middle class of the company, piling up lots of files? No one, right?
Yes.
All you ever wanted was to become at the top. But what most people don't realize is for them to become the vice president or the CEO, they will be reaching those process, those stages. It's the same thing with AIM Global, potential myth. If only I will be given 10 downlines or 100 downlines, I will be a very, very good leader. You can never be good leader if you can't even prospect or register someone under you. Then how can you tell that you can be able to reach your full potential if only given 10 downlines under you? Sometimes there are the excuses of most people. Sometimes most of you will be telling, oh, that guy only got lucky because he has a downline who has lots of people under them. And it turned out that he just knew how to lead. If only I'll be given that kind of chance and I'll be better than Mike Rossman. No. Everything has a purpose. The reason he was given that right person is because he deserved to get that right person. The reason you don't have 5 people or 10 people under you because he knows that you still do not deserve to get to be in that position. That's potential myth. Please, don't even try to think that way. Alright? You want to become a vice president, if you want to become the president of the country, you need to be the vice president first, or you need to be a senator first. Or you need to be in a position like a mayor first. I don't know if you have mayors here. Yeah, mayor, congressman, senator. Have you seen someone become a president out of nowhere? Became the president? No, they have to be like a congressman or a mayor or a senator first. You don't become a global ambassador and not becoming a distributor first. You don't become leaders without even experiencing being rejected first or failing first. You don't see leaders like that. The only way for you to become leaders is for you to be experiencing all of those things. And one of which is to keep on learning and learning and learning. Do you understand?
Yes.
As the person beside you, do you understand?
Do you understand?
As the person beside you, are you learning?
Are you learning?
Ask the person beside you, are you sleeping?
Are you sleeping?
Alright. Next. Now, the question is, alright, you want to lead. Then how to lead? How do you lead? Well, it's very, very simple. Number one, I'm only going to be tackling 4 ways. Number one, of course, lead yourself first before leading your organization. That's what I've been telling you a while ago. You don't expect to have 5 downlines under you and not knowing how to lead yourself first. And the first thing that you need to know for you to lead yourself first, and by learning and learning and learning to attend trainings such as this. to be able to learn how to present the marketing plan, for you to know how to present NDOs, or the ASAP trainings, or to even present leaders training. Can you even present the marketing plan without a pen and paper? You need to know those things. If you're talking to a student, do you even know how to say for that student to open his mind before you even present the marketing plan? If you're talking to an employee, do you even know the right approach to set the mind and to open the mind of an employee for you to even start presenting the marketing plan? If you're talking to a businessman, do you even know the right approach to present the marketing plan? Those are basics that you need to know. Lead yourself first. That's why we always say, when it comes to trainings, drop everything. Attend trainings. Everybody say, drop everything.
Drop everything.
Lead yourself first before leading your organization, because you can never lead an organization if you can't lead yourself first. You can't pretend to lead an organization and pretend that you're a leader, because you will just be wasting your time. Do you understand? You're just wasting your time. But then again, I have to ask you this. What do you think will I ask you now? What will be the question that I will be asking you now? Any guess? What?
Can you lead yourself?
No.
How
No.
can you lead yourself?
I will now be asking you to please raise both your hands. Alright, raise your hands. Raise your hands and tap the shoulder of the person beside you. Shake, shake, shake. Shake, shake, shake. I should be seeing your hands and your head shaking like this. Shake it so hard. Tell the person beside you, we only have 3 slides left. Alright? Okay, next. You thought it was going to be some kind of a question, right? Number 2, find ways. All right, this is good. When you lead, because there will be times wherein, I'm just being honest, there will be times wherein you have an upline that is an ineffective upline. That you feel like, you can reach more of your potential if you do it your own way. But most of the time, there will be uplines who are really effective uplines. But then, all I'm saying is, there will be times wherein you will have an upline where you can't see the motivation in him. Then learn how to lead. But, this is important. You don't just tell your upline, you're an ineffective upline. That's why I'm taking over. No. You must learn how to find ways to work harmoniously with your upline, even if you feel like your upline is being ineffective, even if your upline lacks the motivation, even if you feel like you must be leading the group instead of your upline. No, the best leaders know how to work harmoniously with their uplines. All right? How? Number 1, develop a genuine relationship. Even if your uplines, even your upline will not serve as a good role model, even if you've been attending lots of trainings and you don't even see your upline attending, just having fun in his house because he's starting to earn money now. We call that in the Philippines, Buddha. Do you know what the Buddha is? You know the Buddha?
We know.
The Buddhism. It's some kind of religion in some countries wherein there is I don't know if that's a statue.
We know it.
Doing like this. You're sitting down, Indian sit and doing this. And it's gold. We call that Buddha. We have lots of uplines in the Philippines and other countries as well where there are Buddhas. Just because they're earning so big, they don't care about their group anymore because they earn every month. All they do is just do PMA every month and they earn. Alright? Because they keep on having matches bonus because they have leaders in their lefts and rights. earning UPP, Unilevel, Cereceps, and they don't even train their downlines anymore. Their downlines can't see their uplines anymore. We call them Buddha.
Buddha.
Everybody say Buddha.
Buddha.
They just wait for grace. They don't work anymore. You know, we are just starting in Global Zambia. I'm telling you, we will be eventually experiencing, we will be encountering and seeing people earning so big. You will be seeing lots of global ambassadors buying sports car. It will happen in Zambia very, very soon, and I hope you are one of them. Alright? Who among you here believes that you will be doing that someday? Who among you here believes that one day you will be a Buddha? You are raising your hand, brother. Just because you're earning doesn't mean that you need to be a Buddha. You need to have your group, just like our board of directors. They have everything. They have all the reason in the world not to have the people, not to have networkers anymore, because they're billionaires. But why are they having some sleepless nights thinking of ways to innovate? Because for them, they are true leaders. They never care about money anymore. They have money. Their main purpose right now is just to help people, networkers who believe in Alliance in Motion Global. And I can see in your faces that you really believe that you will one day succeed in AIM Global.
Yes.
But I don't believe that you will one day become a Buddha. Because I believe in your faces that one day, the moment you start driving your own cars, the moment you start, having cars, having big group, you will always be there to serve your downlines. Will that be the right attitude for you?
Oh, yes.
Again, even if you have uplines who will be Buddha, you must still develop a genuine relationship. Alright? That's how leaders really act. Develop a genuine, even if you feel like, I don't think my upline is really effective, I need to take over. Still, develop a genuine relationship. Do you know why? Ask me why.
Why?
Because you will serve as a role model to your group. And if they see that you are saying bad things about your uplines, one day they will be saying bad things about you as well. But if they see that you are having a genuine relationship with your upline, then they'll be doing the same thing. Even if you're being an effective upline, they will follow you because you are being a good role model. Alright, that's why it's important for you to develop a genuine relationship with your uplines. Next, identify and appreciate your upline's strength. Even if your upline is being a Buddha, you still need to find what his strength is. And identify it to your group. Let's all appreciate our Buddha upline. No, you don't say that, huh? Let's all appreciate our upline for being this and that. Without him, there will be no group such as this. Always identify and appreciate your upline's strength. You only identify your upline's weakness if you are just the two of you talking to each other. You don't tell that, in front of your group. That's a big no-no. Alright? Identify and appreciate your upline's strength. Next, find ways to complement your upline's weaknesses. Again, what's the weakness of your upline? Someday you will encounter this, I'm telling you, where you start having lots of Ruby Global Ambassadors here. You will be seeing uplines. I hope not, but I'm just being realistic. There will be times that you will be having really Buddha upline. And you just can't tell them upline you're a Buddha. Because you will hurt your upline. You might not establish a genuine relationship. Maybe, try to be as tactful as possible. It's like, upline, wow, I love what you're doing. Wow, can you imagine now that you are on top of your world? Can you imagine? You really are enjoying your life. Upline, we really would appreciate maybe if you can somehow find time to your group, because they really are expecting you to train them even, once a week or once a month. But you just don't tell them because you're being a Buddha. No. But you are starting to complement the upline's weakness. By just telling them, hey, if you're being brutal, the true meaning of it is you're being brute, you're being Buddha, you don't have time for your group anymore. But you are finding ways to complement the weakness. Do you understand? Be tactful and not tactless. Alright, next. Affirm your upline to the organization. Although your upline is being Buddha, even if your uplines cannot be seen during trainings, always affirm them. Be a good role model, alright?
Yes.
I'm down to my last 2 slides. Three slides, the last being just a quote. Are you done writing it down? No. Alright. Do you want the tip in writing down notes? Because I've seen this in Uganda. I'm having a hard time doing trainings there, especially if I have slides that have lots of bullets and they have to write it down. Because the way they write down, it's word by word. It's like, affirm. Your upline to. Is that really not just in Uganda, in other countries as well. When you write down notes, read the sentence first. Affirm your upline to the organization, memorize and write it down. So it's going to be very fast. Not like affirm. Your upline. And we're going to have, are you done? No. I'm so busy writing down word by word. You don't do that, huh? Are you learning?
Yes.
Alright, next. Thank you. Alright. Never stop growing.
Carry the weight, another bullet.
Sorry?
Carry the
Oh, carry the weight. Oh, okay. To work harmoniously with your outline. Again, like I said, there will be times wherein you won't be saying your outlines anymore. Then you have to carry the weight and don't feel bad about it. Because, just try to be positive about it by telling yourself, it's a good thing that I'm carrying the weight because I learn more by leading this group. Carry the weight. Now I assume all of you have finished writing this down because you're not writing it word by word. Alright, next. Number 3. Never stop growing. Oh, I always tell this. This is self-explanatory. No need for me to discuss this further. Never stop growing. Just tell the person beside you. Never stop growing.
Never stop growing.
Learn and learn and learn.
Learn and learn.
All right. Last is for me, this is one of the most important characteristics and qualities of a leader. And that is suspense. Okay. Develop influence. Everybody say influence.
Influence.
You can never be a leader without influence. This is what separates people from leaders. From leaders to other people who can't lead the group. Because if you lead, then that means you are developing influence within you. And you will never be able to learn how to lead without influence. Because this is when people follow you. Alright? I know that I'm a leader. Do you know why? Ask me why.
Why?
Again, ask me why.
Why?
Because I know how to influence people. I ask you why. You all said, why? That means I was able to influence you. You understand?
Yes.
When you speak, it's as if that way. It's as if when you speak and lead your group, people will follow you. And they will never follow you unless you develop influence. That's what I said earlier. Just because you're a boss doesn't mean that you're a leader. Because there are lots of boss and they don't have influence. They just don't have the choice but to follow their boss. But the truth is, they don't develop influence. True leaders, my brothers and sisters, through networkers who are earning big in AIM Global definitely have big influence. And you need to understand this, that if you really want to learn how to lead a group, have influence. Alright? This is when people start trusting you. This is when people start respecting you. Alright? Are you learning?
Yes.
I'm down to my last slide, but before I just feel like doing this because I can still see someone. Please raise both your hands. Come on. Alright, because I want to end this presentation with a bang. Alright? I want to end this presentation with a bombastic. Alright? And everybody please tap the shoulder of the person beside you. And everybody say bang, bang, bang.
Bang, bang, bang!
Don't sleep.
Don't sleep!
Alright, and for my last slide, I'm leaving you with this quote. Leadership is the capacity to translate vision into reality. Otherwise, vision will never be a vision without reality. Can only be a dream. It can only be an illusion. Vision, leadership is the capacity to translate vision into reality. If you are not a leader, it will just remain to be a vision and a dream. But true leaders will have vision, and they make sure that whenever they have that vision, they turn it into reality. Did you learn a lot from my presentation today? Alright, in 14 hours, we'll be having an OPP. Who's going to be doing the OPP? I believe it's the chief right there. The chief, Henry, will be presenting the OPP, and for the closing, I think Dina and is it Jackson? Who's the other one? Gift and Dina. That's very, very good news for people who have guests today. Can you imagine our top one in Zambia doing the closing presentation after the OPP? You have to invite 14 hours for marketing plan